So sometimes people ask me and send me messages asking if I can fast forward the beginning bit because they don't want to wait for me to start talking, as if the talking is the golden gem. Which in some cases it's nice to hear the words and nice to hear what I'm talking about. But I see the sitting in silence as part of it too. I've also had people tell me that they don't watch me, or that people don't like to watch me because I get up and go to the toilet, I make myself a cup of tea, I talk with my dog. And some people say they love that as well. But none of it really matters, loving it or not loving it. That's the actual point. So the realization that I had when I was younger, or the big realization that everyone will come to eventually, is that what you're actually looking for isn't in what you like or don't like, isn't in a pleasure or pain, isn't in something you're going to get to. What you're actually looking for is presence, is what's actually happening, is this. But it's just that the mind is used to fishing in the future for something better. So you have a feeling that you don't like the way I do something, or you have the feeling you do like the way I do something. And neither of those actually got anything to do with non-duality. I would love to say that when you like me, it's because you've liked the best teacher there is in the world, and that I'm fantastic, and and that you're at the right teaching, the good teaching, the positive teaching. But it's not the way I see it. I see it as all of us machines are programmed in a certain way to like things and not like things, and we move towards that which we like, and we move away from that which we don't like. And non-duality is a remembering of freedom beyond all of that. And sometimes when you listen to me, I do think that you pick up on that presence and you begin to sense something deeper. You sense that there's something else you want rather than what you like or you don't like. But the superficial likes about my personality or the way I present it, or dislikes about that as well, have got nothing to do with presence. All of that's appearing in presence and is a bodily preference. It's the way the body-mind mechanism is set up. It likes something or it doesn't like something. But I think that also when I speak, there can be a sensing of presence, which is what you always long for. You see my presence and it reminds you of your own presence, that what's actually happening is the freedom. If you believe freedom's in time, then you're always caught up in the pendulum of life, of trying to escape pain and get to pleasure. You believe that seeing ugliness and death and sadness and despair is bad, and you believe seeing beautiful things and good things is love, is good. And that's a practical way to think, but judging your happiness and your sense of well-being on that is never going to work. Your well-being, your freedom is in actually what's happening in ugliness or beauty, in pain or pleasure, in like or dislike. You can dislike something and be totally and utterly free. You can be angry and object to something and be totally and utterly free. This is so radical to the mind that it rejects it, and even in the non-dual path still thinks it's about coming to a particular state. It's got my sticker on the bottom. So right now, the freedom isn't in future, in getting somewhere. The freedom is me peeling off this sticker. The sound of me doing that. The sound of my voice. Ooh, that felt nice. The look of my face as I peel it off and go, ooh, that feels nice. The frustration you feel if you're like, talk, woman, because when you talk, it makes me feel present. Don't get distracted. And presence isn't you as a separate person putting effort into being present. Presence is there all the time. It's there watching the person that puts attention into this moment or not into this moment, or thinking or being lost in thought. It's there always. It's what life is appearing out of. Life is appearing out of itself now, in this, as stillness. It's not coming from the past. It's not going to the future. It's right here. Life is happening right here. But because you've got imagination as a human, you've got lost in your imagination. You got lost in comparing this situation to that situation, yourself to someone else. And what's happened in the human body by always living in imagination, you've actually stressed the body out. Because a lot of what thinking is about is problem solving, is solving a current problem. So therefore, when you encourage the imagination, it's like you're always living in a problem to solve. So therefore, your adrenaline glands are most probably going a lot faster than they would do. You're not resting because you always feel there's a problem, because you're overusing your imagination. So this subject, and I think what all spirituality talks about, even stuff that's not non-duality, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Sufism, New Ageism, witches and wizards, all of them are trying to point to something that's present, but they just sometimes have complicated things that you have to do in order to remember your presence. A lot of them talk about pleating the person or tidying up the cage or making the person more happy. And then when it is more happy and more balanced, there can be a remembering of this, which could be. I do not know. Some people have tidied the cage enough and don't need to focus on it any more, and then some people certainly need to tidy the cage a little. Especially those that use "there is nobody" in arguments with their partners or something. These are the most dangerous non-duality people. I don't want to do the washing up because there is no one, because there is no one. Or or always saying it's the other person's fault because there is no one.